Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Good Keyboard Friends podcast, hosted by Black Simon, Tanghus, James from Taiwan, and myself, Huber the Med. The video watchers, the people on YouTube, will obviously see our guest first, but for the audio listeners, before I introduce our guest, I have a question for you, Mr. Guest. Do you like raisins?
No, she prefers kibbles.
I don't mind raisins. I prefer grapes.
Have you ever thought about what happens when you eat raisins and then you drink water afterwards? Are you scared of the fact that, or the rumor of them expanding and exploding in your stomach?
Keeps me up at night.
And with that, our esteemed guest, rmendis. Hello, welcome to the greatest podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Raisins like a proper natural laxative, just like prunes.
Oh,
so like, of course, they explode your stomach.
Good point.
Before I ask the first question, before we introduce rmendis, I had an accident by eating too many raisins about maybe 3 weeks ago because I thought to myself, yeah, obviously I know they're grapes, but just dehydrated. But they're so good and they're so small. So I ate probably, I don't know, like a cup of raisins. Worst stomachache of my life. I was on the toilet all night. It was horrible. So Tanghus, yes, I can confirm. Confirmed.
I don't know, dude. That's just giving raisins a bad name, dude. I believe on any other day you could have taken it. You know, you could have taken it. I believe in you, dude. You should try it again. You should try eating a cup of raisins again, but this time be ready for it mentally. You got to be there 110%, right? And then just power through that shit like you do with your lactose intolerance. Dude will just eat a fucking pizza in front of me and just raw dog it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait for him to discover sugar-free gummy bears.
Oh, no. I've seen the reviews on Amazon, so I'm not touching those.
No, the secret is you just got to eat the whole pack as quickly as you can.
Well,
but no,
we'll see.
But I totally agree on the notion of grape. So, if I'm going to have old grapes, I'll just have wine. Thank you.
Yes, the best form of grapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, welcome, rmendis. We've been wanting to have you on for such a long time. For those of you that don't know, we'll get into your history and we'll talk a little bit about KeyCon later. But I just want to say thank you for being here. The first time that I ever heard about you, because at that time I hadn't talked to Binge yet. I hadn't really talked to Hoff or any of the people that may have known you from either geekhack or artisan collecting. I saw you, like many of us did, for the first time on Teja's videos. So, yeah.
Yeah. The infamous video.
Hey,
I had known Teja for a while too before that, and it's funny that that was the first time or the first topic that we discussed. But I think we're in better times now, considering where we were at the peak of that craziness.
We got someone on a podcast who's saying we're in better times now, not someone
yeah,
talking about the demise of a hobby or how it's all going to.
The death of the hobby has been greatly exaggerated.
This is true.
Yes, absolutely. Wise words.
It is big and true, by the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
still have the hobby has yet to see its true final form. I believe it's still got a lot of good times ahead of it.
There's so much potential. There is so much potential. You have no idea. I'm upset at myself for sitting on so much potential. Just not doing the things I want to do.
Yeah, there's so much, and I hear people come in and they're like, "Oh, I wish I joined, pre-COVID or whatever." And a lot of people joined during that time, right? And I'm like, "No, this is the best time. The amount of variety and availability and cost, and it's amazing."
It's the best time unless you want a KMac Happy or
sure,
SCL or something like that.
But and the thing is, Simon, how 10 years from now, people joining will be saying the same thing, right? Oh, I wished I joined in 2025 when we had, Keyboard X, right?
I mean,
See, I mean, like the real end game is to just design a time machine, then go back, buy all the keyboards that you wanted to buy. That and it doesn't matter as long as you eventually get the time machine. So who cares about keyboards, right?
I still find the hubris that we are now playing with magnets and we still don't have custom Honeywell PCBs, like, to be absolutely disappointing.
When did you guys join? When did you guys all join the hobby? Because I feel like I haven't been in it that long, but then time has flown since I've been in it. So
no, I only got into the hobby like 5 years ago in 2013. So it's like, it's fine.
The math isn't mathing.
I'm not good at math, but I don't think that's right.
No, that's about right. We as a society have basically not moved since like 2016. I think.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, like keyboards have like had a whole like cycle, but like the world as a whole, oof.
Yeah. Is that really when you joined Tanghus? 2013?
Yep. I was a serial lurker, and then like there were fuck all around here, like as for a community. And
were you in Denmark at the time too?
Yeah, I've always been in Denmark. So.
Okay. Yeah. I'm actually surprised. Yeah, Europe, like, even I joined, when did I join? I was lurking for a bit, and then I think I created my GeekHack account in like late 2016 or something like that. And I thought there would be a lot more, European community, but there, it's interesting that it's bigger in like the little country of Vietnam than it is in all of Europe.
It's one of the things that actually made me leave in the first place, because I did have quite a period of hiatus, but around 2015, 2016, I fucked off because I got my nerd 10 kilos as a cope because no one would send me a fucking KMac to this place that no one apparently knew about. And then I was like, fine. And then I had my Model M and my Dell 80. I was like, fine.
You're done.
And then I, for some reason, lured myself coming back into the hobby around 2019. I was like, getting a bit more cash and moved in. I was like, maybe I should get back in. And then I kind of stayed because there's actually a fucking community.
Yourself, dude. You mousetrapped yourself.
In that period, say 2015, 2016-ish, I got into another mousetrap that is called Old Cars. Which had a whole community, which was the fun aspect of it anyway, driving around with my dumbass Bimmer, going out, having fun doing car shit. And that's kind of the stuff I missed from the keyboard community at the time. And then when I came back in 2019, I saw that there was some actual community, etc. So it was a good time to come back as well.
Nice.
Oh, well, I mean, Simon, you can talk about it. Obviously, rmendis, you can as well, but the community was a little lacking during those days, like 2010s to 2020s?
I don't think so in the US, when I was looking from the outside at least. But I could just stare outside the window and just look in to all the kids having fun.
Internationally, it's been kind of ebbing and flowing, I think. Yeah. In Europe, I mean, even the artisan scene, was pretty, there was, I don't know if you remember Zorb Caps. He was in Sweden, I think. Trying to think who else were some of there weren't a ton. And I was a little surprised, right? Because Europe, as the artistic and cultural sort of Western center of that, I thought for sure there'd be more, but it's, I guess part of the challenge is it's just, you don't have, I don't know, it's too expensive to get into it, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's also, it's a cultural thing as well. Vietnam is big because of American influence. America's big because of American influence. So, the more consumerist thing is a more Western, Western
exactly.
thing.
But I'm actually surprised India doesn't have a bigger community. There is in India
200% tariffs is why.
Yeah, there's a Discord community. I mean, I haven't been in it for a while. It's got the Indian guys, but because there's so much IT there, obviously, right? They're all sitting in front of computers all the time. Not to stereotype, but that they have a big IT community there, and it's close to China, right, and Korea and all these places. So you'd have thought, but it isn't.
Huh.
I mean, I know of people there, but it's kind of the same dealio of me being in the Middle East and you know, the hobby in the Middle East, or it's not really a hobby in the Middle East, even though like we'd have a meetup in Dubai and we'd get, you know, 20, 30 people, which was good. But, you know, that was basically it. It was that, and then like, you know, some form of normie stuff. But like small, you know. Yeah, I get it.
But I think a lot of it's also just like regional support and like the level of tech, because at least for, say, Denmark, we were heavily digitalized quite early. So stuff would get discarded all the time or just like donated in other places. So finding a lot of vintage stuff like came here pretty fast and left pretty fast. And it's only a country of like 5 million, same as Norway. And like Scandinavia is historically very like fractured. You will see more Swedish stuff, like, but there's also like a population 3 times the size. And it's mostly IBM stuff. Like they were huge here. I think we had like at the height, like 6 offices across the country.
Wow.
Varying size because they were pretty much ingrained into the whole thing. So there wouldn't be a whole lot of offerings because a lot of the stuff would also be like things were moving faster. Like stuff would be outdated quite fast. So it just got dumped.
That's an interesting perspective. I hadn't really, you know, although I know of vintage, I'm not heavily into that scene, but that's an interesting perspective that whatever corporations happen to be big in that country is what dictated sort of the vintage inventory for that country. It's interesting.
It's also one of the reasons like why I kind of got myself in is because like I was exposed to IBM through my parents, like, and their jobs in IT. And at the time they had like a pretty, like even like late 90s, early 2000s, they were working from home. Through ADSL and broadband. And
back then,
they would get I think it's like 2 or 3 years, they would get a new computer sponsored by the employer. And like the first ones they brought home had Model M's. What we had at the school was like old 5150s. Like,
so it's funny you say that. IBM is how I got into the hobby. And the reason is, so when I was growing up, I was born in Canada. My father joined UNICEF when I was very young. So we lived in different countries. And one of the countries he was posted in was India. And I was in like grade 3 at the time. And he said, we're going to have to get a computer because I think this is the future, right? And I had no idea what the hell he was talking about at the time. And so he had, a relative that worked at IBM in Canada. So when we went back to Canada one year, we got this portable IBM computer. It was the model 5155. If you look it up, or I have it pulled up here. I don't know if I can share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hang on. Let's see. How do I do that? Just go ahead and hit share.
Okay. Yes.
Share screen.
Oh no, the bank info. No, I'm just joking.
So it's this one.
Wow.
Can you see this?
Yeah. Wow.
So it's this like, it was like the size of a suitcase, like a small suitcase, right? And the keyboard would fold down and there would be like an amber screen and a couple of drives. And my dad also had a friend who worked at Seagate at the time. So he took one of these drives out and he put in like a 20 megabyte hard drive, which at the time was like unheard of.
Yeah, that's like ginormous.
That's
ginormous back in the 80s, right? So now when I came home, all my friends had either Apples or Commodores. So I couldn't play their games. So when I booted this thing up, it booted up into BASIC. That was what was on the ROM.
Yeah.
And I had these old IBM manuals. And so I taught myself to program by building games.
So cool.
And this keyboard is a buckling spring. I forget the exact model now. But when I was doing a build at the end of 2016, I was like, you know what? I should try and find one of those old keyboards, even though it was loud as hell and all that stuff. And that's when I came across geekhack, and then I tumbled into the whole hobby. That was the origin. So it like you, Tanghus, my hobby life was influenced by IBM.
Wow.
It's also like the proper one to start out of, the FXT. That's the best sounding of all the Model Fs. So like,
it was solid. It was like a tank.
They are so good. The layout is hideous, but like the sound of them.
And maybe that's why I like compact layouts, because of that keyboard. I don't know.
Oh, I love XT layout.
Do you also like cone feet and stuff?
Cone feet are great.
I mean, it's close. It's adjacent.
Yeah.
Cone feet keyboards are the best keyboards. And that's a fact.
I don't know. We'll see when the 880
like
arrives.
This hobby is full of preferences, of course.
Yeah.
But like clearly a lot of
some preferences are more correct than other.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a lot of those preferences are just like objectively wrong, and like.
To be fair, there are completely wrong preferences.
Yeah,
you're allowed to have them. You're allowed to have them.
Yeah.
Oh, like liking MX Browns unironically, for example.
Goodbye. How do I turn off my...
You don't like gravel in your keycaps?
Like, you know, not really, dude.
No, well,
not a fan.
I'm gonna touch on.
I got something.
No, I'm gonna ask about more about rmendis's, intro to the hobby. But I want to ask real quick, Simon, when did you join? I know you joined in
2015.
Okay,
2016. It would have been like early 2016. I don't know when I signed up to like platforms, but that's when I started sniffing around.
Okay,
the same time.
Did you?
You said 2015?
Yeah, 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
But I don't know when I got super like when I figured out what Discord was and I found mech keys, then I was like all in. Prior to that, I had some loose affiliation, was, checking stuff out. But the second I discovered Discord, I'm just like, oh, I could just type words to people. Let me be helpful. And so I, helped people.
And things
and
just
also
like
did a lot of shit talking. As
one thing followed another, and things just like suddenly you're sitting here.
Yep. The secret is you just get into random Discord servers and start talking.
Did you were more on Discord than any forums, like Destorty or Geekhack?
Yeah, I was on. Okay. It was Discord that like pulled me in.
Yeah,
and it was like I pulled myself in because like I always hung out in like specifically help channels to like help people out.
Yeah, I don't think Discord was around when I was like it was when I first joined. It was Slack. Like we missed the whole ICQ period, right? That was. And I tried to dig up some of those things. I couldn't find them. But when I started, there was Slack and Reddit and Geekhack and Destorty, but I didn't go there too much. And then Discord, I think, was like 2017,
I think.
Yeah, exactly. But then I agree with Simon. Like that's when it really became like Discord and Geekhack were never really like real time interactive and blah blah. And Slack was there, but you had no memory because everyone was on the free one, right? But Discord really is when it catapulted, which is interesting. I think people will look back and say, "Wow, Discord had a big impact on the hobby."
Oh yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I bought my first mechanical keyboard in 2017, but I didn't even realize that there was a community until 2021, 2022. So I missed out on everything between those times. But I was, I'm sure as Simon, and maybe you as well, and maybe Tanghus as well, the whole forum, the format, because I've played video games, RuneScape. I've been in RuneScape clans, the Envision free forums, all the forum type formats was very normal for me. You post.
Yeah.
So I want to hear about. You were more active on Discord, rmendis, than like Geekhack or anything when you first.
No,
started.
I was pretty active on Reddit, just because I was like, into like lurking the RMK and RMM mechmarket and stuff like that. But and then Slack, because some of the artisan makers had Slacks, like Binge had a Slack, Bro had a Slack, so we were on those. But yeah, so I Discord is when I think people just spent a lot more time online. I will say the one downside of Discord that in the future might hurt is, unlike Reddit and Geekhack and Destorty, none of it's publicly indexed, so you can't find it. It's not discoverable, right? And a lot of that content will be probably lost, right? All these amazing little chats that you had at 3 a.m. or whatever with somebody. Like, it's sort of ephemeral in chat, right? In geekhack, it's like, it's historically like established, and you
But
can find it.
You can
know?
also kind of see the issue is that even if it's written and it's like desk authority, like basically got sold to highest bidder, a data scraping company.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's and we've had these debates about it. Yeah,
like,
no, we've had like, so every once in a while this will crop up like, hey, should we create something that's more community owned, right? And it's obviously easy to talk about but hard to actually do, right? We have toyed around with forming like a nonprofit. We originally around KeyCon, we ended up using what's called a fiscal sponsorship this year. So this year, all the sponsors will get tax receipts if they're US based, because we're using what's called a fiscal sponsorship. But eventually, if there's a nonprofit, then it could be possible to eventually have something that's totally community owned, and at least that way it'll be around.
It's one of the issues, like actually right now in say the Danish Discord, is that the guy who owns the server is hilariously absent.
Yeah.
So like
it happens,
you have
right?
have these issues that just pop up, and it's like I can mention a few other servers for other things. I mean, where that's the issue is that you're here on limited time anyway, because this might just like fold, or that might just be that one day he just goes delete.
Yeah, it's always a danger. Like, any big discords where there's a big community, and I'm sure it's not just in our hobby, like you almost want to make sure that there's at least one backup, owner or something, because it's so fragile.
It's also extremely problematic though to like if you look at the history, you have like 4 different communities, like different communities at all times nearly. Now you have like most is like we are down to like what 2. And maybe like 2 1/3 if you count geekhack into it, but like no one posts there outside ICs and group buys. So there's no forum there, and like most forums have gone away because they went to Facebook and whatever places which people are at least in this hobby moving out of. But like it's the same in the car communities. Like a lot of the forums there went completely south and disappeared, and like a lot of the knowledge there also just disappeared because the say Photo Bucket is a good example, because they were decently reliable back in the day, and a lot of people would just like dump the photos there, and now suddenly they have been paywalling everything and just like hawking the.
Well, a lot of the old geekhack threads, you see the Photo Bucket logo, right? Like they're no longer accessible.
It's better than say Image Shack back in the day, but back then they were pretty upfront and saying like you have 6 months, then it's gone.
Yeah.
But like a lot of old posts now are just gone.
Yeah, so I will say there's a possibility now. In theory, you could build a bot that goes through all these Discord communities, and just puts the whole thing in a big language model, right? And scary to think about, like all the shit talking that would be indexed. But
that's
somebody asked about Simon.
Is doing.
Yeah. How many times does Simon drop the F-bomb?
Like per day?
Yeah. It's a little break the floating point.
Do you think that the Bachu massacre of 2023 would be indexed then? Or no?
Of course it would be indexed. It's literally on the wiki.
Oh, yeah.
Which previously was accessible by LLMs, but no longer is. Once it started making shit up about me, about how I'm moving to Arizona, I'm just like,
well,
let's just block everything.
You had a similar idea that Armendis was talking about.
Keyboard nonprofit?
Yep. And to have everything like one centralized location where everybody talks about to share, hey, if you need info on this, here's this and that.
My idea was buy geekhack, put it under a nonprofit, use that nonprofit to fund, giveaways, meetups, outreach, all sorts of stuff. Make it a 501c3.
Yep.
And then you're chilling. And you set it up in such a way that there's a board that has no way to profit. Everybody works as a volunteer.
Yep.
Nobody fucking owns anything, and it's unbuyable by any other private corporation. Like we can put together the documentation real easy. We can get the money together even like bootstrapping it. Like there's plenty of like services.
There's
that
all
exist.
possibilities. Yeah, all possibilities.
So like all that matters is like the community wanting to do it.
That's right.
That's all that matters.
It requires the willpower and the time, right, and effort. Like 501(c), like that is a non-trivial process to set up and manage, right? There's compliance and all those things. It's all doable, but that's why we went the route of this fiscal sponsorship, thanks to another person in the community, Nihil Ibrahim or Dane. Good guy, he helped us with that. But that's the intent. That was the intent of KeyCon, right? Is to like, hey, how do we, take it and make it truly a community-owned sort of brand and concept and stuff. And it's still experimenting, but I think so far it's working out. We'll see how this year goes. It was a good one last year. Yeah.
Can I ask you this?
I'm in,
go ahead.
But
go ahead.
Are we going for Guernsey or are we going for Jersey?
Guernsey or Jersey?
Yeah. I mean, we gotta like get the financial situation sorted.
Delaware.
I have no other words.
Wow.
It's I think the best quote I've ever heard is like, "Why is it always Delaware?"
Oh, I see. Yeah. I hear that. Was it Wisconsin? There's one that's
Wyoming.
One other state.
That's
Wyoming.
That's where Black Simon TV LLC is.
Nice. It's apparently very good for privacy too.
It is.
Yeah.
Can I ask what your background is, rmendis? You don't have to divulge anything that you don't want to.
You mean like professional background, or?
Yeah, because I hear you talk about learning to code by making video games, and obviously
you can't say the word engineer, or else Hubert's gonna explode into like confetti,
like a raisin. Yeah.
See, you saying you're not an engineer is not going to like be a guarantee that he will not call you an engineer.
Ah, I see. No, what's my background? So I did computer science, but I've lost all my useful skills. Yeah. Now I no longer have useful engineering skills. I'm in marketing now. Product marketing.
But financial engineering.
High five for marketing.
Yeah. But yeah, so I've been most of my career has been in software, enterprise software. Companies like SAP, Oracle, those kind of companies, and doing startups. Yeah. So I like to say I do penance. I do startups, and then we exit to them, and then I work there, and then I leave and do penance by doing another startup.
And then that gets acquired by Oracle because, of course, everything does.
That's right. I think we'll all end up working at Amazon.
There's a suspicious pattern here.
Well, you say we. Some of us will not be.
What's the pattern, Tanghus?
I mean, the Antichrist company, Oracle.
Oh,
yeah. It'll be interesting to see. Like, I'm shocked that they've survived. Maybe they're too big to fail. I don't know.
I'm
not shocked.
If you are scheming enough of a personality, you'll find a way.
Yeah, but it's amazing, right? Database. The bread and butter is still database, right? I mean,
but it's also where is that database? Where did they put those databases, and where are those databases getting used? Where did they put them?
Mm-hmm.
Like around here, they're pretty big in the whole financial sector and the whole government sector. So and we are not the only ones. So it's
hence the too big to fail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was always curious.
Anyway,
because,
that's my background. Yeah.
Yeah. And when did Artisans come into play? And I'll explain why I asked this later on.
Actually, I have to ask.
Yeah.
Did you buy your clacks of mechanicalkeyboards.com? Or
no,
not that old in the hobby?
No, but I mean, they've been selling. I mean, EK. Oh, you're thinking? Yeah, no. I didn't buy. No, I'm not that long. I started in late 2016, so that was way after all that. Yeah. But they are selling a little bit on. They're selling a few on EK still. Yeah.
Huh.
Like old inventory. Yeah. They drop them once in a while.
I mean, some things like in this hobby is constant, like tech keys still offering you turtle power. That's still a constant in this hobby. As long as
DCS turtle power?
Yes.
God damn. That's good.
And it's the best value DCS set.
Yeah.
You say
So elite-
value.
I mean, yes. I mean, don't you love our lovely Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles? You can't say ninja. That's like dangerous.
I talked to two people that you may or may not know, Captain Badass and Diego,
Of course.
and they told me something interesting, Armendis. They told me
Mhm.
that you have many artisans,
Mhm.
many artisans, and you are arguably the biggest artisan collector in the world.
I don't know if I'm the biggest in the world in terms of quantity.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't ask them. They told me to bring it up though, and like
the fact that you're asking qualifiers means yes. You've already accidentally yourself.
And also that now
probably-
you're sitting
yeah.
back, leaning back, and doing like that head math.
No, I'm trying to think.
He is the
of
biggest one.
who
Got
else. There are some big collectors out there that are not traditionally active. Like there's this guy out
The
in
guys
China.
in China.
Yeah,
I know that's what
and-
you're comparing yourself to. I know how many fucking artisans we're talking about.
yeah, it's a lot. He has a lot, and even now there's like newer people like Nihil Librium I mentioned, who's got a huge nightcaps. I probably am. It's not a distinction I'm happy to say I have. But
no.
I'm probably in the top 5 maybe. Yeah.
Wow.
The important question is, does your artisan collection make you happy?
Of course. Otherwise,
Yeah,
be stupid, right?
I don't know. There's plenty of people that are like
Yeah.
doing the calculations on the financial investment.
No. I mean, yeah, it's is it excessive? Yes. Do I enjoy it? Yes. And at some point I'm sure I'll put them back in, send them back into the community at some point. But yeah, I enjoy it. I joined around the same time as Diego and I, and Diego was doing his undergrad, I think at the time in DC. So we used to hang out with some other folks in this area, which is surprisingly so Maryland, DC, and Virginia, right? Northern Virginia is like this triumvirate of states and cities, and DMV. Yeah. And there's a lot of folks here. Yeah. A lot of folks here in the community.
Wow. What was the very first artisan? Do you remember? That you
The very first artisan. So just like today, you couldn't, the ones that were in stock were limited, right? So everyone usually gets an in stock one from like Hotkeys Project back then, if you remember those guys, right? It was like one of those robot head things. And then Jelly Key, I bought one from Jelly Key. Those guys have quietly been sort of the casual artisan, supplier for a long time.
I think my first artisan was the 3D printed potato keycap of Drop, or Mass Drop at the time.
Oh yeah. Mass Drop had them. That's true. They had them for a while.
It was really terrible. Wow, that was like mediocre.
Was it 3D printed? Was it really 3D
Yes.
printed? Okay. Wow.
It still lives on my brother's keyboard today.
Wait.
It's a great.
Do you have a
terrible
big? Do you have it there?
Is it this one?
I don't
Tanghus?
Yes, that is it.
Oh wow.
That is
That's great.
You know what? I was upset that you bought stuff through Massdrop, but I'm not upset anymore.
This is the cool.
that's
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember this.
There's a single 4-star review. We gotta read it, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great spot.
All right,
That's a great comment too.
It's a perfect addition to any potato
Absolutely.
build. Great
you gotta
spot.
you gotta
That is
unvote that
great.
comment. You gotta. There we go.
It's great.
Okay.
Dude's getting a reply after 15 years. It's like the fuck.
You did see it. I hit the request button as well.
It's the mom of the maker, yeah, the mother of the maker.
Oh my god.
Oh, that reminds me, one of the best Twitter comments ever was James Blunt, and he was very active on Twitter in the start, back when it was at least a bit fun.
Yeah.
And someone was commenting at a concert, a replay, and he was like, wow, someone's actually applauding at a James Blunt concert, and he just goes into the first comment and goes like, hey, my mum was at that concert.
Oh man. Doesn't he say that, Tanghus? Well, he's really funny on Twitter. I haven't.
everything, like every interview is like he is just really funny. Like
It's funny, yeah.
but that's just one of the
good.
great ones.
So what is the artisan in your profile picture? The
That
tree
is that's the Brocaps Stump V2.
Stump V2. Oh, literally all of Artisan sounds that hilarious to me. Like all of it is just like made up nonsense.
It's so when you actually look at it from an outsider, like my friends will call it. One of my friends says, "Oh, you collect these little gremlins." That's what he calls it, little gremlins. And you know what's interesting? If you take an assortment of artisans and you show a bunch of people who've never seen it, they all gravitate towards, oh, this one's cool, and they pick up like a jelly key blank, right?
Yeah.
And that's it's sort of like, if you show people abstract paintings, right? And then you show them, I don't know, a Thomas Kincaid, really pretty looking painting, they're going to pick that versus this abstract nonsense. That's kind of like what the hobby is.
So what you're saying is you've elevated to a level of class that the plebeians simply can never reach
I have lost touch with reality. That's what I'm saying.
You heard him, boys. Let's eat him.
What?
Yeah.
Dibs on the
But
first.
I still do love jelly keys, though. I still have a bunch of those.
I had like 6 of those, and like I don't know how many I still have because like I never like bought Artisan seriously for me. Like I bought like some from China for like a few bucks, and I didn't really care.
Sure.
And I won some here and there, but predominantly I would just like give them to people that would be like, "Hey, that's cool."
Yeah,
I'd be
they're
like, there you go.
Yeah, accessories. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean,
Is
I never got
Sorry,
the one
continue.
artisan I want, but the one that's like truly like that will always stay the same. Like the one that just cannot like yellow. Like yellowing is not a question. It will not like devalue whatever. I just want a drunken skull.
Oh, okay. Oh, it can never yellow because it's already there. Yeah.
Exactly. It's already yellow. It comes pre-yellowed. It's already done. You don't have to like think about because like I got one, like seriously, I got a robot, like a snowstorm, whatever they called, ice storm, whatever. It was an palish light blue, but now it's just like a putrid green.
Has it yellowed? Okay.
It has yellow quite. I mean, it is quite a good match for DCS Faye things, I found out.
Oh.
So, like, I guess
it matches different key sets over the years.
Oh yeah, those better not yellow.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other challenge with resin. It's like it has properties that don't always keep it consistent.
All right, but PBT doesn't yellow. So let's just like take the PBT, right? And then like just take
the resin,
this and put it on the resin, basically.
And you forgot to point out the other thermoplastic that doesn't really yellow either. PVC. We got to make more things out of PVC. Like, we're already fucking over the planet. Why can't we just start making PVC again?
I have a marshmallow gun made out of PVC, but is it the accessories that got you into artisans, rmendis? Like, what about them?
Well, so I started out looking for this, looking for a buckling spring keyboard, right? Like that old one, and then can't remember. Then I got to geekhack, and I was like, what the hell is this thing on the keyboard? Like, it was like, I think I saw a Brobot or a Cosmo or something like that, and then I just kind of just fell in from there. And I always used to like I had a like a collector's mentality, right? And then it was this miniature art, like it blended art and keyboard. It was just a good combination of things that got me into it, I guess.
True. There's also the RGB for the buckling springs. Yes. Yeah, I do want those.
It's a weird hobby. I love it, and I love the guys in it, but it's a weird hobby.
Oh, it's so accessible. Well, I asked this question to Binge, Diego, and Wheat when we had the artisan episode, but this is again someone who is not very much into the artisan community, knows about it, has a few artisans, but it seems like even in this day and age, it's nice to see artisans as like an entryway, or people in Vietnam or Indonesia making them, as opposed to obviously a more complicated thing like running a keyboard project or like a
you mentioned Vietnam. Wasn't there like a guy in Vietnam that was like copying all the other artisans and everyone was shouting at him?
Was there?
Yeah, they're cloner. Yeah, so in the early days there was this guy K3 KC.
Yes, that's the guy.
Yeah. So he and so the interesting thing there is He was copying clacks. Then he was copying brocaps, and brocaps sued him.
Oh,
Brocaps sued him, and that was the first. And then from there, he created these authentication cards, right? ID cards, which then that influenced people to do those things as well. Although I think nowadays, they're probably needed less because it's one of those things where, who is the fake cap for? It's not for the people who actually collect the caps, right? So it's sort of like, it's IP infringement, but it's not going to hurt your business, in the sense that keycaps now, the retail price is so high, right? They're so expensive that the only people buying it are the ones who truly want to buy it for its authenticity, right? And so the people who buy the fake ones are not going to ever buy the real ones, and vice versa. So it's sort of this like mutually exclusive group of people. Granted, like,
I mean,
it
scams
sucks.
do still happen.
Yeah, and scams, that's the problem. Is like, we're constantly finding people inadvertently, not even purposefully, inadvertently they bought a fake and they're trying to sell it off, right? And they just don't even know. So that happens. But, keyboard, I mean, what's your guys' take on the clones and stuff like that on keyboards? I mean, that's been always an interesting debate.
yeah, I want to hear about that. Whoever wants to go first.
I have fake clacks, fake bros. I got them from Taobao for like $3. I didn't check if they looked like the real thing. I just looked at them like, these are cool designs. So I got them with an order. Never tried to pass them off as real. As long as you do that, like, I don't fucking care, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Why would anybody care?
Yeah, the question is, like, for example, in keyboards,
it's like the question of I'm so sorry. It's like the question of how like piracy affects video games. Like, it doesn't.
Right.
Like, the people that are going to pirate are going to pirate.
Exactly. Like in the art realm, right? So in the art realm, which I consider artisans to be, again, people are not, like, either they'll just buy something off Taobao because they like it and they want to put it in the keyboard, in which case that's probably not the market that's going to buy a $200 cap from the maker, right? And vice versa. Like, people who want to buy the $200 cap are not necessarily going to go buy the $10 Taobao one. So it's sort of moot. But in keyboards, it's different, right? Like, what are your guys, like, what's your perspective on like Kalam'd and stuff like that?
Do you want to go, Tanghus? And then
I mean, as long as you're like, it's just like, now I say I come from Denmark, like everything here, like design furniture was a big thing here because we had the whole thing with a lot of our like classic design furniture pieces.
Mhm.
People were buying them from UK where they were cloning furniture for some reason because the patent.
I see.
To buy it. But it's one of those things, as long as you're like upfront with what you have and you just bought it, got cool, it essentially means that that this is not accessible to everyone, but the clone is accessible, and there's nothing wrong with having a clone, and like there's nothing wrong with going around with a fake Louis Vuitton bag. There's something wrong when you try to pass this fake Louis Vuitton bag off as a real one and
As a
sell
real
it.
one. Yeah.
But like the other thing, no. And
It's interesting it's interesting you bring up Louis Vuitton bag, right? So in the fashion industry, in the clothing and fashion industry, there is no copyright protection on the design. So for example, you can't copyright a handbag design, which is why all the brands plastered their logos all over it, because you can copyright your logo.
Except in some markets, because when you have a similarity, like whether, like, we're one of the countries that actually has this, and like how similar is the product, and I like if you have a copy protection, and like overall in EU, you have
Denmark allows that.
We like there's quite a few companies, and I think it's also an EU regulation in general.
Got it.
So there is some copy protection because a lot of the fashion industry in Italy is also.
That's interesting. Like, that's the first example I think I've heard where the US is more lax than another place for copyright, because in the US there is no like clothes, fashion and clothes fall under what's considered utilitarian. Like, you can't design, like, I believe is I'm sure there's somebody who's watching there and be like, that's not true, but at least I've read and I watched it. There was a TED talk on this concept that the fact that we don't have patents on design in the fashion industry, but it still thrives, is a model for saying, hey, we should get rid of it in like software and other areas, because it'll spur more innovation and create more opportunity.
I mean, the whole concept of patents is, I don't know, it's very anti the rest of the system. It doesn't really add up.
It's one of those things that's really hard to discuss, because what is your incentive to invent something if you can't earn anything? But what is but why do we protect something when it's obviously done for the greater good? It's the classic capitalism versus communism thing. It's the same discussion you have for them, because like, what do people strive for? And say, if you invent something and it's not protected, what good of it? Though, to be said, like, some of the biggest inventions, then, like, what's really pushed like humanity forward as a whole, were essentially all not copy protected. And like some of the big ones, even like if you look at IT, like IBM not protecting the XT computer and making it open, and all the clones, Linux being essentially free and open. So has essentially generated a larger subset.
Exactly, that is the argument, Tanghus, is that, you know, it ironically in history it show, you know, generally speaking, like when things haven't been patented, it's generated more positive, right? Even for the company that invented it. And then ironically, like, for example, Coca-Cola will never file a patent for its recipe, because once they do, it's out. Right? So that's interesting. But yeah, in terms of keyboards, it's always a fascinating, you know, question to me. I mean, we get on mechmarket, you know, we get constant threats from keyboard brands, right? That, hey, you know, why are you allowing this, and so on and so forth. And my argument to them is, look, we don't endorse it, but we need to, and we don't want people buying stuff unknowingly that's fake. But if you simply say you can't sell them, it's just going to create a market for it somewhere else, right? And that's the problem.
I think the mechmarket approach is like the best one that I can like really think of, like how to do it. It's just like, you can buy and sell them, like, because people, like, obviously they want to get rid of them, and like, sure, there's limitations around here. You can't sell a copy. You can buy a copy. I'm legally allowed to go out and buy a copy, but I can't sell it. So
interesting.
So kind of like, if I go sell a clone, like, I'm breaking the law here. Technically, it happens all the time. But like, like the Danish community, I know we looked at a Kalam'd once, but went on a local like Craigslist similar thing we have here. But like, it was kind of taken down quickly. But we like always wondered, did it get sold or did it get taken down?
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
But like,
so it's illegal to sell a clone in Denmark?
You can't sell. I mean, I can't sell a clone. I can't manufacture and sell a clone here, but I can buy one from, say, another country. And this is kind of the discussion, because it goes back to all the furniture and all the Raisins, etc.
I see. So the origin is in the protection of the furniture industry.
Pretty much, because that was a big one. Because you had companies that here were, again, Danish companies taking the money and then selling the clones. They got pretty much busted, except for the few companies in the UK who were like lucrating on this and sending the furniture over.
Interesting.
And it deemed in favor of them. So I am legally allowed as a private person to buy a copy, but I cannot sell it.
Even if it's like a used item that's one, like you're not selling. Okay, interesting.
I can't.
Yes. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So our approach, I don't know if this is right. There's no perfect answer to this stuff, but our approach on mechmarket has been, hey, let's create, you know, and we did this, I think, a year or two ago in feedback from the community, was say, okay, let's create a clone channel, right? And the rule is you got to, you know, post it in there. But we don't allow like mass marketers. Like we had to ban somebody recently, and he's like a big ass about it, you know, where he was on his own Discord, he was like saying, hey, I'm going to do a run with Dadeson on this design. And it's like, like, guy, that's not like a personal like device that you're selling. Right? He's like, well, you'll have to ban all my Alstom. I'm like, all right, man, whatever.
That's the one thing, like, I respect you guys in mechmarket space. You're basically sitting down and playing whack-a-mole for free. like some of the guys would go like, this guy has been banned, and like there's a few between them, but when you see someone getting banned, it's like, oh, we banned this guy, but this guy was also this guy, 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 and this guy.
It's a thankless job, and I think Hubert, you were asking like, who do you thank? I'm like, there's a group of people behind the scenes, right, that are not streamers or podcasters, right, or vendors or any of these things. They don't make any money off the hobby. Nobody really knows them, and they're doing these like there are guys on mechmarket like Noah and Furion and Bassett and others that literally go through tickets. Like, imagine like IT service tickets in ServiceNow. Like, there's tickets in mechmarket, right, where people are like, oh, this transaction didn't go well, or I didn't get this, and they're voluntarily like helping those people, right? It's insane.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring that up because you are obviously one of those people, not only behind the scenes but public facing in many aspects, like the artisan website that you have. But and please cut me off if I go on for too long. But I want to say something real quick about the clones before I bring up that other tangent. I think it's all about education based on what I've seen and what you've all talked about and things like that. Because when I first started, I was into the budget part of the hobby. So you would get the white labeled, I don't know, 65% that 500 other companies make, and you're super excited about it. Some people would get Kalam'ds and things like that, but if you don't know, you don't know, versus if you're trying to purposely sell. And I'm never going to shit on somebody for enjoying a clone or something, or like if it's if it's based off like an OTD mini and they don't want to spend $4,000, but they buy something much cheaper and they're happy with it, and they understand it's a clone and they don't try and pass it off. Hey, I don't care. It's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, like I'm not ideological about it. I think you're right. It's education, and what is the intent? Like, is the right? Like, if you're not, if it's not hurting a business, and obviously it's easy for me to say this. If I poured my blood, sweat, and tears into some keyboard design and then somebody cloned it, would I be pissed? Probably. But if there was no other way for someone to access my product than through that clone, then should I view it more as, a gateway to my product, right? Is it marketing for my product? So yeah,
I mean,
I get it.
Go ahead.
Just so we're clear, like if like it depends what we mean by clone. If we're talking like the Kalam'd Jane 2, where they replicated the box to say TGR and the PCB to look exactly the same,
and the ID cards and all of those
things, and the screws and everything, at that point it's malicious.
Yes,
let's just be very very clear, okay?
Exactly.
If
and
you
by
are
the way,
making
Simon,
a
it's not like
direct fucking knockoff, that is malicious. Okay,
and it's not like their price point is 20% of the original either.
But even if it was half of the price, the fact
it's
that
malicious.
You are trying to pass it off as authentic as the manufacturer, is bad.
And by the way,
as long as you're not doing that, clones are
fine. And on that topic, we actually, because it was so bad at one point, the Kalam'd stuff, right, that I had a contact who knew the manufacturer, and I said, look, please reach out to them and say, hey, we're trying to avoid scams on mechmarket. Can you just put a tiny little indicator somewhere that's not obviously visible that this is not the original, right? It's not going to impact your business, but it'll help us minimize scams. And they said, basically get lost. And that's when I knew, you're just malicious.
But that's also the whole discussion, right? Because you have those that benefit from the clones are basically without morals. But we're also talking about people buying them, because a lot of people that buy clones buy it because they can't afford it. But you also know that once they get rid of it, they may be likely to buy something later down. Like, I can't remember what brand is around here, but there's a brand around here that was pretty like chill about clones because they knew that, say, buying a clone, you're not going to be happy buying a clone because you know it's a clone.
It's a gateway to your product.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know this is not the real thing. It doesn't give you that last increment. So, and they know this too because you will still strive. Like, again, Louis Vuitton bag is a good one because people buy a fake Louis Vuitton to pass off. But at the end of the day, it's still a shallow representation of what they are. And there's no, you didn't really achieve or earn anything. So, from a philosophical standpoint, a lot of people will sell these later on down the line and get the real product.
Yeah, I agree. And and our perspective, as long as they disclose during that sale, right, that this is a clone, that's fine.
And the problem is also here that them selling them, the people selling them to get rid of them, aren't the real problem. As Simon was saying, the problem is Kalam'd. Kalam'd should basically just be booted out of the.
Well, the funny thing for me is some of these makers like Kalam'd and in the artisan category who make almost identical stuff. I'm like, you have this skill, why not go make your own?
Yeah.
If you have the skill to create essentially a duplicate of something that's highly sought after, then surely you can create an original thing that's going to be highly sought after, right? It's so weird to me that
you silly man using logic on
these
people. That's your first and only mistake.
And then what they should do is they should create a fake clone to clone their stuff to make it look like their stuff.
We're gonna cut that out and we're gonna keep that idea for ourselves. I'm just joking.
Yoink.
Didn't that happen, Tanghus? Or someone cloned Kalam'd's?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
yes, and then we got some. Hey, this is not a real Kalam'd. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Wasn't that the same? People were sending out a copy of his ID or something like that with it as well.
Was it?
That was some real sketchy stuff going on where he was getting doxxed because a copy of his product was sent out with a copy of his government ID or something real silly.
No, really? Okay.
Wow.
But we did get somebody complaining that this is not a real Kalam'd, and I was just like, I can't believe I'm getting this.
That's so crazy.
But then again, the Japanese car industry wouldn't be where it is today without the help of the British cars.
Yeah.
But they did it differently in a way too, because a lot of if you look at the cars then, was a case of open up the car. What does it do well? Look at it, go that isn't really done well, is it? And then they take the good stuff and then iterate on the bad stuff. But so we aren't really that innovative as a species, are we? We're always like looking at something from the framework of what came before.
No, we're pretty we're pretty dumb as a species, dude.
It's like the mental block. If like one of the things that make us really great is that we can share thoughts and share words. But the problem with that we can share words and share like thoughts is that I can also share a block. So if I'm sitting here like going like, oh, what is it? Oh, the word I'm looking for. I'm looking for this word. I have now shared the mental block and you can't find the fucking word I was looking for.
Watermelon.
Flamingo?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Dang. Before I get into... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to thank, all of like industrialized technology for like, the past 20 years, basically accomplishing nothing besides selling shit to people slightly more, evil. That's all we've innovated in the past 20 years. Or no, since the smartphone, basically.
Are you implying that
more ways to sell shit to people?
You're saying selling to people?
Uh-huh.
Like, are you saying that in this day and age we still got ownership?
Well, you know what I mean by sell, not the real definition of sell, the modern definition of sell.
Subscribe.
Yeah,
prostitution.
Before
it's rental. Okay.
There we go.
It's like ownership, but you keep paying, and also you don't own it.
Indentured ownership. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. That worked really well in most of Europe for years, and I'm very happy that the world as a whole took all the lessons from Europe on indentured ownership and like.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Now it's wrong because they got this bit wrong. If we do it like this, it's better. Instead of like not doing it.
before we get into rmendis's works, like Artisan Collector and everything like that, does anybody need to take a break?
I'm
Or
good.
is everybody good? Oh yeah, what have you been eating, Simon? I wanted to bring it up, and then I forgot, and then you brought something else.
I brought up some candy because, like,
please show the class.
So I have some Sour Patch Kids.
Nice.
And I ate all those. There was some. It's blue raspberry Airhead.
Okay.
It made me blue,
Ah.
and I got a little box of Nerds.
You like sour?
The Halloween. It's like the Halloween candy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the huge ass Costco bag of Halloween candy that I'm trying to like slowly eat through.
Ooh.
Don't worry. Kids did come to the door, and we gave them the entire other bag, which is like 7 pounds of candy.
Nice.
Wait, to one kid or just spread out? Yeah.
It was one group of kids. I think it was like 2 to 3 kids. Kate just gave them the entire bag.
Wow.
Do you know?
Holy
jackpot.
Now you have to buy a bag.
I don't know those kids' parents, but like, I'm so sorry.
See, the problem you've generated for yourself is that now you've essentially given them one huge ass like bag of candy. So now those kids will be back next year, and
It's
other kids.
fine. It was like $10. No, those kids, they can have the whole ass bag of candy again. But any new kids, they get one.
Oh.
You got to pull the ladder out from under yourself once you succeed.
Yep.
Because that's the only way that you maintain control.
But that's kind of the problem with this is basically like, now you've given this back. Like, it's like my neighbor getting a fucking lab and just walking it around. Or like, actually, I had a friend of mine. He had, out walking with the lab, and this lab for some reason found a whole like French pate in a fucking bush.
Wow.
So, and before he could do anything, like this, like basically these creatures are like a black hole. Once they open their mouth, it goes like. But the problem with that fucking like French pate in that bush was that every time they were out on a walk for the rest of the duration of like the whole fucking life of this brown lab, and this thing actually lived quite long for a lab, like if they walked past the magic pate bush, you sure as hell knew that like dog was going to check that out. And those kids are going to come back next year.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing. You've generated a problem for yourself.
I love it.
Well, you say problem. I say opportunity.
There you go. So, Mr. Rmendis, you've done many things collaboratively or non. I love how, let me just share this. I love this website because I did not know about this website until Binge brought this up. This dude has done so much for the not only artisan side and just artisans in general, but I want to go here because I want to.
Hey, that's the superior artisan. I saw it.
If anything looks bad or wrong, it's probably this guy's fault. But the cool thing is, I love the history. I think one of the reasons why I love this podcast is because we have a lot of people that talk about the history of the hobby and just things that we might not know because we don't know what happened back in 2013 and things like that. But tell me about this whole undertaking of this website because it's crazy. You have history, you have guides. How did this come to be?
This was when I first started, I realized how difficult it is for a newcomer at the time. Maybe it's easier now to really learn about the history. You had to go into geekhack and all these other places, and I enjoyed it, and I'm sure some others do enjoy it. But for those who don't have OCD or infinite time like us, there was really no way to get into the history of it, right? And I felt that it was such a cool, rich history, and there's all this, there's these unspoken, traditions and norms and all these things, and I just thought it'd be cool to encapsulate it somewhere. So originally I thought about like writing a small book on it or something, and then I thought, what the hell, it's the modern times, let's do a website. That's what the origin of that was. Yeah, and I have been, I've been wanting to add a lot more to it. It's just, work's been a little crazy lately, but the goal is to continue.
That's the smart choice. Save that for the PhD in the book.
In the book, yeah.
You got
So yeah, so that's the origin, and part of it is like, I felt like, it deserved more, like the hobby deserved more recognition, or like I don't know, sort of formal. It deserves to be an art form, and so I wanted to do this, and then reach out to some of the art magazines and stuff, and actually did reach out to one editor, and he wrote back surprisingly, and he said, "Hey, this is very interesting, but this is not considered fine art, right? It's considered functional art or commercial art." And in researching that topic, I realized jewelry, right? So jewelry makers went through a similar difficulty trying to get their art considered like fine art, because things like earrings and chains and stuff were often considered just functional or fashion or something like that. And so artisans are not quite there yet in terms of recognition, but I hope one day they will be.
How is it functional art when we basically like make the key near unusable in most cases?
Exactly. Most people don't realize it, but yes, it's not functional in many ways.
It's kind of like the hot boy car culture thing. Like this is like putting a spoiler on your car, like a big fat exhaust.
Yeah,
like that's the artisan community.
It makes a difference. The big spoilers don't make a difference.
5 horsepower.
Well,
they make a difference.
Do they?
Yeah.
Actually, they do. It's like hilariously bad for your fuel economy.
Oh,
Yeah. They're generally terrible.
well,
and
unless
to
you
your
know
point,
what you're doing.
High speed.
Yeah. On how you said about clones, it's about educating, right? And so that's part of the thing I wanted to do, is also like, I don't think most people realize how much work goes into making one of those small little things, right?
Oh.
And how many disciplines, like you have to, first carve, you have to be good at sculpting. Then you have to make a mold of that. Then you have to know, okay, how am I going to, color this thing with the inverse in a tiny little one square inch box, right? And so there's all this, mixing the colors and all this stuff. So it's so painful. Like no one in their right mind would ever make one of these things.
Also,
right?
when you find out like why you can't use water-based inks with polyurethane resin, and like suddenly
the whole chemistry of it. Yeah, and you had Binge on, right? So he's almost like the scientist of the artisan community, right?
The
he
mad
goes
scientist?
deep. Yeah, the mad scientist. He goes
I think he's
deep
like
into looking
one
at
of the
that
few
stuff.
people I can mention like the name of. Like,
Yeah, and so it's really an underappreciated art form, I think.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you, and not just me, but all of us here, and James, and a lot of people, because regardless of whether or not you think it's valuable, because obviously it is, or you think it's something that is very helpful, the fact that you and other collaborators have put so much effort into this, even the mental block, the
I don't know
MK
either now.
Salcon.
No, the vendor system, right? The vendor system that
the MKTrust
Goldman
thing,
Sachs.
Yeah, we might not think that, like, we might have differing opinions on it, but the amount of effort, the effort alone is something that I just wanted to commend you on, because this is a lot. This is a lot coming from people that have put in effort to do things like Simon and Tanghus. So thank you. We really appreciate that.
I know how long it takes to write letters, and and that is a lot of words on that website. I respect the amount of words.
Yeah. It's a passion for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's none of this stuff, at the end of the day, I keep the perspective on it. This is not changing the world or anything like that, but hopefully if it helps a couple of people, it's great. Right.
But if you help a couple of people, you are essentially changing the world. Like,
you know what I said?
No.
Just let them all get scammed. Fuck it.
You do.
Let them all get scammed. You know what? It's a learning experience. I got scammed in a game, and that's how I learned. Like you got to get scammed on a couple group buys. Okay, you gotta get fucking.
The first group buys I joined were, let's look at it. It was the
hyperfuse R1
M65 disaster.
My M65 was fine, dude.
No, I got it eventually, but I had to go on Slack and like say, what the hell is going on? Some J-Chan friend said, hey, you better take a look at this guy.
You have to remember, like back then, you were using the free version of Slack, and he was using the free version of Slack, so the message just got lost. It was an honest mistake.
Do you remember the Exent?
Yep, I had one.
Yep, I still have that one. It was an awesome board, but I had to get Yuxi went to the factory and got one for me because I messaged him. I'm like, dude, can you please get me this?
So interestingly enough, my unit was Elaine's.
Oh, whoa. Interesting.
And I just yoinked it from her.
You yoinked it from Elaine? Nice.
Now.
And then, so yeah, M65 Exent and then ZZ96.
Oh.
Yeah, they were like, it's a miracle I stayed. They were all.
Fool me once.
Yeah, it was like 3 in a row. I'm like, God, I'm a glutton for punishment.
Fool me fries.
It's part of the experience, dude.
It is part of the experience.
You gotta get scammed at least a little bit in the hobby.
And you know what? To be fair, the reason it didn't bug me is like, it was pretty fucking obvious with the disclaimers on all the group buys, right?
Oh.
That, hey, a geekhack was pretty, it was pretty clear on that stuff, right? That this is highly, like the
caveat the emperors.
Exactly, caveat the emperors. Yeah.
Oh, shoot! Yeah, we never had this episode because we got scammed ourselves. But can you tell us about
the exit scam episode? We got exit scam.
So Gondo is like, let's have all these people and talk about how this is not a new thing. Exit scam, and then people helping out. Can you talk? Anybody?
It's so poetic.
Yeah,
about the exit scams or what?
The exit scam happening, and then somebody coming in to help. Just like maybe some lessons that you might have learned or things that could have done better. Just, it's not a new thing. And at the same time, it's not a good thing that's happening.
I'll tell you one. So this was a bit of an esoteric one. Let me see if I can, God, it was a guy in Ukraine. So the moment you start with it's a guy in Ukraine, there's going to be a challenge.
Oh,
right?
No. Yeah.
I mean, you say that, but I got a October giveaway board to somebody in Ukraine during the war, during like early war.
Oh,
no,
this is even
the problem
pre-war.
is not getting things into Ukraine and getting them like distributed there. It's like getting things from Ukraine and actually getting what you paid for.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, you see,
that's the issue. I'm trying to remember. So he started out as a cable guy.
Oh,
and I'm trying to remember his name. I have it here. I've like blocked it from PTSD. What the hell was it?
Yes, it's
you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's that guy. It's the guy with the pants. No, but I genuinely I can't fucking remember him. But that is it rings a bell.
I got blocked. I got blocked at Comet Cables, unfortunately. That's as far as my brain got. I couldn't go any further.
Oh, SantiGo Customs. He did the monoflex.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he had a cables. He was doing cables for a while, and again, like everybody, I don't think anyone starts out with the intent to scam, right? Like they get into the hobby, they're like, oh shit, I can do these group buys. It's basically a free loan to go build shit. And he goes and he starts with cables, and then he does the monoflex, and then he does the lira. And these group buys are like, they're basically floundering. And inevitably he exits, right? And then there's a guy, so somebody tracked down the factory where these things were made and contacted the factory and went in and procured, because the factory hadn't been paid, so they had to pay them. They got these unfinished boards. They finished them and were able to sell it at a discount back to, first they gave it to the group buy people and then they sold it. So there is an example of a full life cycle of a scam, right? And surprisingly, he didn't shut the Discord down, so I still have access to the Discord. Someone should do a case study on it. But basically, it was like a failed GB with an exit scam and a recovery, like the entire thing documented in a foreign country with different people in the hobby trying to help out. Wow. It was amazing.
Yeah, but like it's also rough because you have to remember, like, to run a group buy, you also have to think about costs. And this is why when you run a GMK set, you make sure that you save the money and don't ask GMK to like sort the kits. You'll do that yourself. And when you get them sent across the globe to your buddy in the USA, who will then like sort them out for free and send them out to the rest of the world, so they're making out of Europe. And then you'll sit in the UK and then you'll like make sure things are going well, and then you figure out.
Tanghus, can you read the most recent message in general chat in Discord?
Oh no.
What is this? Is this a bunny thing? Is this bunny?
No. It's
Oh.
Yes,
I'm gonna share
GMK Bolivia. Hello, I am a representative of the Keycap Designer Discord. I am currently planning on making 50k from our upcoming GMK set, GMK Bolivia. I am going to be taking a 90% cut because vendors are useless and manufacture risk when there really is zero risk to them. Ask me anything.
One of my favorite copy pastas of all time.
That's really good.
Is that real?
No,
it's real. It's a real copy pasta.
It's real close to like a lot of adjacent stuff, like the
Hyperfuels R1.
Well, the thing is, I obviously know this is not just hobby specific, but when something bad happens, it's very nice for people as in a collective to help out, and it brings everybody together. Obviously, we don't want the bad thing to happen in the first place.
Yeah.
We don't want that shit to happen. But I do agree. It shows how great some people are in the hobby helping out.
And
Hoff, was it sorting the keycaps?
Keycaps, Hoff going in and getting keycaps from, was it Project? I can't remember the vendor now. It's been a little while. In the case of the Lyra, it was the PCB designer, that helped BizNow and others, and it just it's nice to see people helping when they can.
But the problem is also like there's like an unreal expectation a lot of time in the hobby that someone will fix it and hey, I'll get it, and like so a lot of people are like getting played for fools for fixing something that aren't really their problem to start with.
Past performance is not indicative of future results. Okay,
and no, but I'm just saying like. I really don't understand why Hoffman is still in this copy.
Because he's a good dude.
Without a question, he's a good guy. But
he's employed. He's got like a job with a salary, so like he's okay.
But like it's also
that's like an upgrade over like some of us.
Why? Like again, back to why is Jay still vendoring? Because like the hobby has given like if you look at it, like
Jay has done. Like Jay's done well enough, and he's now doing okay enough, but not okay enough. Hence
and he's also been like picking up projects and picking up stuff that wasn't his. Like there's a whole like crew of people and it's always the same fucking people that's cleaning up the mess after the party.
It's
like,
true.
Why are they here?
It's like a glutton. Like the guy at Lyra, like IL Wrights, right? He was the PCB designer. Like. He didn't have to do anything, right? Hoff didn't have to go, even though he's employed by Drop or whatever. His decision to go to the warehouse and get these key sets and stuff, and or novel keys, right, and Canon keys, picking up these things. It's a thankless job that they didn't have to do, and inevitably people criticize you anyway, right?
It is
for whatever reason.
The French pâté in the bush, except keyboards.
Yeah,
like people are just going to expect you to fix this every time, and it's like. It's really rough because I think it's really unfair for those people. It's really like they are really like doing something great, like for the greater good. And like, it's a very altruistic mindset, but it's also one that we see is getting abused by people like countless times. And then like either it's people actively pushing a product to someone else, or it's actively someone like a expectation in the community that, well, when they're fixing this and when they're doing this at a cost that like I shouldn't have a cost, it's unfair, and like it's the
education's important, right? Is like putting it out there so people are aware of it. One of the things, MKTrust, we've been let it slide a little bit, but there's a volunteer who's come back, and I want to make make that into a website where people can just maintain itself, because the problem is it relies on too many people to maintain it. But that the visibility is important. Hopefully we won't get to that point again. I mean, I don't know. Have you guys seen scams lately? It's kind of, those have sort of died down a little bit, right? I mean, there's vendors that may be going under, but the scams like that are much less.
It depends who's asking. Like,
yeah,
it does, like, if I am scamming, have I seen it? Of course, I haven't seen it. Of course.
Yeah,
I mean, we've gotten past the peak where like the profitability isn't really there, because you know most people do their due diligence these days. There are still some less than scrupulous vendors internationally that are still in operation. There's people that are like still doing business that, like, in my opinion, should absolutely not be fucking doing business at all. But besides that, like, no big scams yet. Keep in mind, we're in like year 1.5 of a recession that like nobody's admitting yet, but we're getting real close to that point where people are going to start admitting shit. And then when that happens, you know, companies start laying off 20-25% of their workforce, and then somebody that had a stable job no longer has a stable job and takes the group buy money to pay the fucking rent, and boom, exit scam has started.
That's been people. This should not sway you from buying the NWO 5000 coming later this year.
Oh, I mean, like in my case, I operate with a like cash accounting model, so all the money that comes in goes to a specific account for the group buy.
See,
I don't do cash flow at all.
That is the same thing I would say if I was running an exit scam.
I could show you the accounts. It's fun.
But you know, it's funny, this discussion, because these were some of the discussions that people were having. It was like, how do you prove it? You know, do you create an escrow account stuff? And it's like, it's
I mean, the way that you prove it is you operate a business correctly. That's
the assumption.
That's it. You do good business.
Don't be an idiot.
There's one thing. It's one simple thing you need to do to prove it. Transparency.
Or at the very least, communication. Not like full transparency.
That's also transparency.
Yeah.
Communication, transparency, and it's amazing. Like, there's almost a direct correlation between communication, transparency, and failure. Right? Like, because obviously
you
if you're
say
failing,
that, but Noxary was really good at communicating, because I was fucking pushing for it the whole time, and I was like, "Bro, you got to communicate. This is," and like,
but it trailed off after a while, right?
Oh yeah, eventually it got to the point where, you know, ghost emoji is
exactly.
But it's also
I still remember going into Noxary server to ask people some questions for FAQ, and people were still defending him at the time. I'm like, guys, like, come on. I'm just trying to gather some info.
There's still people defending
I should have cut on
various
earlier.
dictators throughout the history, even for massive wrongdoing. So, like, one guy just fucking off with
running
a bit of cash.
Keyboard
like.
scam.
So what you're saying is Noxary did nothing wrong, right?
I'm not saying that.
Just say the words. It's fine. You can say the words. I disagree, but you know.
No, but again, like, I don't think these people go into it with that intent. Right? I'm not saying what they did is right. I think obviously, you know, if you owe people, you got to make it right. Right? I mean, look at Rama. Like, you know,
so
there's a lot
Rama,
of people,
like the Rama situation. I
think there's a lot of red flags, like, and a lot of red, like.
Did people get whole? Like, did he make people whole?
No,
right?
There was like parts of the company and assets were stripped, and I don't know if anybody got anything. I mean, realistically, as a customer, you're last in line. It'll be debtors first.
Right.
Well, state first, then debtors. Then, you know, business interests, then finally customers. Employees is also high up on the list. If I'm not mistaken, employees did get what they were due.
Oh, yeah.
Which, you know, at the fucking least is something.
It's one of the few things.
But in terms of like what happened, like I'm like I don't know if we'll ever know, like, in detail, like how the collapse of Rama collapsed. For Noxary, like, there's been enough information to figure it out. Like I was getting warnings like more than a year before the fact, and I was like, I don't believe this 100%. And eventually got to the point where I believed it more and more.
Yeah.
Wasn't Noxary also like declared personally bankrupt? Because like around here, there's a big difference between being like your company going bankrupt and then being like personally bankrupt.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Well, let's end this off on a good note. Let's talk about KeyCon.
No. Let's not end it.
No, we're not ending. But I'm just saying, like the last half an hour. Let's talk about KeyCon and
SawCon until I have a Honeywell AG-PCB
based.
That is like the hobby. Like we've still got a lot to do in this hobby. The hobby's not dead. It's not ending. Got to keep going.
Oh no, I don't think this hobby's. Yeah, this hobby is going to keep doing well. So the question is, do you guys think that we will move to, given what's happening with AI and all that stuff, right? That we'll move to more of like less keyboard input and more voice ambient.
We've already done the shift. The great shift happened during the smartphone revolution. Those of us that still use keyboards and care about keyboards are not going to be affected. We're the hipsters, basically. We're the guys that are listening to vinyl records in the age of streaming. And vinyl records is growing. So,
but I think the difference, Simon, is smartphones. They didn't replace your workstation, at least, right? Will people sit down and just talk to their computers? Dude. Yeah, I mean, so laptops. That's true, but laptops is again still like you still have the keyboard as an input, right?
Yeah, voice input. I mean, yeah.
I hear people talking about like Whisper and all these things all the time.
Good. Whisper's good. I use it for local home automation. It's an open source speech to text like software.
Yeah, you can basically talk to your.
You have Piper and Whisper, and between the two, you can make a pipeline.
Why would I want to talk to my keyboard? I'm like already trying to escape people and talking to them.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah.
I mean, it'll only affect people that are typing on like $4 Dell Domes, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to affect gamers. It's not going to affect people like writing, actually writing like books or content of any kind.
Yeah. I don't think voice.
A lot of people though.
Yeah, it'll help. I don't think voice will replace keyboards. I think that's the bottom line. Yeah. It might reduce the volume, but we're as we like not wanting to talk and just be able to type stuff, right? I don't think that's going away until we get unless you can connect to your mind and just it's more instant.
Oh yes, hook me up directly to the NSA, baby.
Yeah,
I can't wait for the day I wake up and I'm suddenly in 2000, like in the peak of humanity.
The second they hook me up, I'm going to jail forever.
Are you? I think it's pretty hilarious. Like we already discussed in that big movie.
I'm just letting you the second I get hooked up to any sort of monitoring software for my brain,
we're all fucked.
That's it. Well, no, it's not. You're all fucked. I'm just gonna immediately be locked up.
No.
The stuff in this man's brain is we can't be having that.
We've watched enough movies to figure out how to break you out. We can do a heist.
Why would you want to get out? Like the AI was literally very nice and placed you in the period that was deemed to be the peak of human civilization, which was 1999. Which was fine.
We were born too early to go to war in the Middle East, born too late to go to war in the Middle East, but born just in time to go to war in the Middle East.
But hey, and you know what? In 1999, when I'm hooked back in, I still can have one of these.
Can you, what are we typing on? Because I think I heard Topra, rmendis. Were you typing on something?
No, I'm not typing. I don't have my keyboard here.
Okay.
It's upstairs. I have my daily is a VE.A, if you remember those.
Yeah.
The split, yeah. It's so funny. That was one of the first aftermarket boards I bought from someone in Germany who did a really nice build with Vint Blacks. And still my daily to this day.
So based.
That's a very nice board.
I forgot to ask you, is that, do you use splits? Is that your preferred layout?
I have all sorts, but I that just happens to be, it's on the, let me see if I can share again. It's on my, it's on the website here. This one. They never made another, another VEA. There was a GB that was, or an interest check, I think. VEA 2 GB. I was on geekhack.
I mean, we got the SP111 as a cope.
Yeah, the SP111. I remember
That's
that.
Yeah, SP111 was pretty nice. I like building it.
Yeah, I should build mine. Like, speaking of Ekit scams, that's what I got out of my KFB.
That was the one. See here, VEA 2nd.
Oh baby.
Ooh.
But it never came to fruition. If I were to go and do a keyboard ever,
it doesn't have the Puddsy nice. It needs the Puddsy nice.
It needs the Puddsy. Switch Nolly.
Okay, Dodo's there. Eric's
Dodo.
there. Oh, there's
Puddsy. There's
Puddsy. It still uses SATA, so no. A classic Puddsy.
Yeah, the geekhack terrorist.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a cool board.
It is. I would love to do one of these if I ever did a board. It stopped here. Hello, any update? 2019.
Oh, now you got to do the Hubert thing. Go in and ask.
Yep. Yes.
Oh, that's the thing.
Comment yes.
Yes, bump up the long dead thread. Just confuse the shit out of everyone and drop it in group buy reviews.
It's
Update question mark.
An update?
That's one of the frustrations with forums is like people necroing posts. Like that's the only annoying thing because you go in and look at sometimes go, ooh.
No, it's fine.
It's
fine. Just punish them. Just like just peel them.
I mean,
with a potato
that's
peeler.
essentially all we do on Geek anyways, that we shout at each other and like publicly shame each other.
Oh, but hey, what goes in a circle comes back in.
If you come in a circle, make sure to cover your eyes.
Yes.
No. If you come in a circle, you're a jerk.
There you go. Geekhack, Chicago, back where it originated from. Right?
Yes.
Chicago.
Yes,
Yeah.
Chicago was that the first one? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is Geekhack? Why is KeyCon? Did I say Geekhack? Did I say Geekhack itself? KeyCon
first.
So you talked about bringing it back for the community, KeyCon, in terms of KeyCon.
Mm-hmm.
And then were you always a part of the planning community for KeyCon?
No, I wasn't. Yeah, there was another friend of mine, Jacob's Mirror.
Yeah.
He was running it for several years. It was a great job. And then when they had booked a place in Denver and then COVID hit.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was canceled from what was that, 2020, 21 onwards until Novel Keys picked it up and then hosted it in Salt Lake City. He did a great job. And then they had a good intent, I think, to partner with GMK and host it in Germany. But obviously, the people in the US were like, Germany, what the fuck?
What the fuck's a kilometer?
And what's it called? And then,
I drove 13 hours for that.
Yeah.
I paid my dues.
Yeah.
US people
Why didn't
should
you
stop
take
complaining.
a flight? You're in Europe. It's like 12 euros, bro.
Dude, it's Germany. I can go
does that
from.
mean?
You can go fast.
Okay.
And also, if you're going 5 people, it's actually quite cheap.
Oh,
And
and so Novel Keys, understandably were upset of the backlash of that, and it was unfortunate because they did a good job, and I've always loved NK, but they're like, okay, we don't want to do it anymore, and I was a little worried that this would just fall by the wayside, or someone would pick up the brand and do something with it that is not community driven. So we pulled a bunch of folks together and said, okay, let's just put like a framework together that allows the community to vote on everything, right? Where it's located, what the logo is, who speaks at it, all that stuff. And so now we're in our second year of that.
Oh, I'm so excited. I bought my first ticket on the first drop, and then I bought the tickets for Simon, Kate.
Oh, thank God you've bought the ticket.
Jay,
okay, because I've been checking.
I know you.
You're such a good guy, Hubert. I asked Jay, of course. I'm like, do you have? He's like, oh, Hubert got it from him. I'm like, oh,
yeah. Well, I didn't know if this. We can bleep this out if this is not supposed to be public. I did not know.
Well, we'll announce it next week. We'll announce it next week.
What? Yeah. When? Do you know when?
The speakers. I don't know exactly. Why? When is this going live?
Thursday. But we can.
No, we'll announce it before Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, JAE and GONDO.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's okay. That's
Yeah. Well, Will and Jay speaking. Is Gondo on? Is he on? Let me check.
Yeah, the
He
leak
said he was
is
speaking.
JAE and GONDO come to Chicago. We eat the grinders.
Oh.
Nice.
No.
You
I
eat grinders and do the
Tanghus.
grinders.
I broke him. Dude's normally on point. I just watched the man just be like,
No pun.
Yeah, Jay
Yeah,
is. Yeah, Jay and Gondo. That's
It's
right.
like,
That's
there's
right.
just
They're
like
both
too
speaking.
much in that, and it's just like
They're both speaking. Yeah. So we'll let me try and get this announced before Thursday.
Oh no, no pressure. If
No,
it doesn't,
we've been meaning to do it. Yeah, we just got to get
Okay.
it. We're just confirming with the titles and all those things. But yeah, I'm excited. So we have a good lineup of speakers. It's sold out. So the first drop sold out in an hour. The second drop sold out in about 15 minutes. Which means there's people who say the hobby is dying.
hobby is fine.
I mean, that is clear. That is clearly the hobby dying because it's just like it didn't sell out in 2 minutes.
Yeah. And what's funny is like I'll get people who say, "Oh, I missed the drop." I'm like, of all the people, like artisan people and keyboard people who get to a drop and submit, or get to a group buy and submit in the first 10 minutes, how do you miss this?
Yeah.
I can understand casuals missing it, but come on.
Right. We've been molded in the Geon works.
But the
10
thing
seconds.
is this a true indicator? Because we just heard just now, like how many people Hubert bought a ticket for. So is it just a case of him sitting
Hubert
on half
just bought
of
all
the
the
tickets?
fucking tickets, dude.
So that's why
no.
like 20
In fact,
minutes.
there was a two cap max. You'd had to have gone multiple times. We tried to make it so that you can't just buy 100, right?
Yeah. And somehow we have a man here that beat that system.
No,
he's just
the
very
time around.
talented.
No, he just went and did multiple orders. Which is fine. We just didn't want to have somebody like add 100 and
I mean,
but
we
no,
presume
I think
that's what he did.
I think we're purposefully trying to keep it to a decent manageable size, but we could probably have 25% more capacity and it would sell out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
I mean, there's some meetups in Asia that are massive. They're massive.
But
way bigger than any time in history, right? So to say that the hobby is dead is just simply not factually correct.
It's going to be bigger because you also see it with VCF, like splitting up and doing over there. It's like how much bigger it's getting over there in the US every year. It's like massive.
I think it's fair to say that like the activity, perhaps, like I know, like based on when, like if you look at like Lightning's Instagram, right, or my Instagram, and I think he represents maybe keyboard collectors, I represent artisan makers, like the number of likes and interactions in our post from the peak have gone down, but that doesn't mean that there's less money being spent or less people in the hobby. In fact, I would say at least in the artisan scene, there's a lot more money being spent now, and I know that because the things are like fucking 3 or 4 times more expensive than they used to be, and they're selling out still.
And the quality of the people that's in the hobby is
that's
better.
right. They're highly engaged. They're on Discord, and so I again, like if you do measure it against peak hype, okay, sure, it's gone down since then, right? But I don't think that's if anything, that's an artificial element being removed.
Yes,
right.
I agree.
I think it's also just a case of a lot of people haven't been around to see what it was before.
Yes.
And a lot of people came with boom, and then it's like a natural to see the hobby now is dead. But like if you are a bit like everyone who's saying it's not dead are those sort of pre-boom.
And the other thing is that spike happened in COVID when there weren't a lot of meetups, so people were not engaging in person, right, and forging these relationships like they were in the days before, right?
But this is also one of the reasons, like, why I got myself pushed more in, because there wasn't a community back then. And now when this is why I decided to help last year with the Danish meetup, is essentially because we were at a risk of not having one, which is like, you have this one shot at actually doing something that pulls together the fucking community. And this is why I, even then at the time, even like I should probably not have said yes, but I said yes to help with this. And like, I somehow got a man from across the globe to assist me and actually do all the work.
Who?
So
Who is it? Who is
Absolutely. James.
James's.
James.
James
That's
did
awesome.
an insane amount of work for the Danish meetup.
Oh, did
like
he?
It's a lot of work. People don't realize
really-
how much work it is to do. You can casually do a local one, but to pull off like a decent sized meetup and make it like the smoother it is, the more work has gone into it that you don't realize, right?
The community here was always small. Like it's a small thing. Like we have a lot of silent whales in here. We figured out because what we now learn about these people, like in periphery, like those that are absolutely not the community, what's around in the country at least is that's wild
It's
stuff.
amazing.
And like there's a lot of people that's just not there, and like there's a lot of people that's still in Discord browsing it and just never posting.
I think the strength of Europe, Tanghus, could be, and maybe we should talk about this, right? Maybe we need like a KeyCon EU, right? Where you have representatives, because I know, like when I went and visited France, right, met up with a bunch of guys there for dinner. There's deep roots in the French keyboard community. It's not a big community, but it's
they're
deep.
wild though.
They have the best keycap of all the time, and we're never going to make it out again.
Is it the one that says putain?
Yeah, I so want a GMK putain.
Oh yeah, putain. Yeah.
I mean, we can still get it, dude. We just got to do crimes.
So do you know Custom and Zek and those guys? So they're to your point, they're not like, for example, Keycap Archivist. Have you heard of that site? It's like the catalog, right? That was built and run by a French guy, Zek. Right?
Wow, I did not know that.
But it's actually one of the things we discussed it a lot last year, because we were like looking, the guy who had taken it on, like he was like also in a hole that he couldn't take it on for the next year, and I was like, okay, what do we do? We went into damage control. Where do we want to place it? And like we were out late. And from like year to like it's small here, and like the year before it's quite dead because we're rarely in like 35 people or so. That was merely like only Danes, and like even like being out late and doing everything like damage control, we got 25 people in during the day easily, and like get very sorted, etc.
Yeah.
So it's just okay, be out in time, be consistent, like where it is. And one of the reasons why at the time I pushed, even though I'm not local in a way, but I wanted it in Copenhagen because it's actually connected. There's like a large hub airport like in Copenhagen for all of Scandinavia. You can easily get there from like Germany. You can
like Simon says, everywhere is $25 or something, right, to fly in Europe.
It's near, and like everything when you get out of the plane here is not $25 though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like the cheapest part will be the flight. Like taking your bag on the flight will cost more than the flight.
But less than driving across the US to a local meetup,
But I think especially in these times, it's really worth fighting to keep the meetups. And like novelties, like again, it was a thankless job they did for the meetup. And like, I know I've shouted out them in the past, etc. But like, I only shout when it's bad. Like I think like novelties and GMK did a fantastic job with the GMK meetup. Like that was
I would have loved to have been. I would have loved to have been there. And I do think it'd be cool if we could. We should chat about it. Like the idea for KeyCon, like we wanted to do an It wasn't. I think the idea Novel Keys had was good, but it shouldn't have been in lieu of the US one. It should have been like KeyCon International or something like that, right? Yeah. And so if I'm happy to chat with whoever and do a EU version, right, and eventually an Asia version.
I think
or something.
It could also just be a case of reaching out to the big ones, because you still have Mechanicon going on in Germany.
Yeah,
in Frankfurt. Yeah. Like I missed that one last year because I wasn't in capacity to travel, but like I have it booked for this year because I want to go there, and it's like 3-4 hours by car. It's pretty easy.
Not too bad, and it doesn't have to be like we could do. The EU one could be every, I don't know, I'm just making like 2 or 3 years, right, or whatever. But I think it'd be cool to have that, right, over time.
Thank you. Thank you. Confirmed. Thank you, Tanghus. Thank you, rmendis, for running the KeyCon Europe meet happening in 2020 something.
Yeah. I am so in over my head.
Big if true. This is going to be so big.
But it's worth fighting for these, because there's
it's the community is everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, hobby is so dead, boys.
It's so dead, but like just because the hobby is dead doesn't mean the community is dead.
Neither is dead.
Can I ask what foods you're excited to eat, rmendis? Or what you're excited to in Chicago?
Oh, in Chicago? I got to do the deep dish, right?
Yeah.
Get the pizza. Yeah.
Okay, what else?
I hear there's some good restaurants around the meetup area, around the Irish American Heritage Center, or whatever it's
Isn't
called.
Chicago like one of the hubs for like?
Oh my god, dude!
craft beer?
It's yeah. The beer, it's a great bar town, and I'm not saying that Milwaukee isn't a great bar town, but it's like on par with Milwaukee and Wisconsin, and so many foods. I'm so excited to eat our way through Chicago.
Yeah, it's a great city to be in, and especially in the summer, it's going to be nice. Like for those of you who have never been there, it's you'll enjoy it for sure.
I might wear shorts for like one of the like 3-4 times in my entire fucking life. You guys might get that.
It does get hot there.
It'll be a special occasion.
I mean, anything above 15 degrees is shorts weather.
What's that in
for Denmark? Yeah.
I fucking hate the Fahrenheit scale. It's like, why couldn't you just do the Kelvin thing? I don't know, it has to be the whole fucking thing, so I have to like sit around and calculate, and people go like, oh, it's pretty easy because you just have to convert this, and then you have to remember that this is like...
You just got to remember that there's 2 pints in every bushel, and the foot is equivalent to 3 yards.
Yeah,
and there's 1,615 of those.
Have you guys ever seen the Saturday Night Live skit with it's Nate Berkus? It's George Washington, and he's sitting around a campfire with a bunch of colonialists, and they're talking about, he's like, we're gonna make this a great country, and he's describing the units of measurement, and everybody's so confused. It's hilarious.
Oh, I'm gonna look it up now.
It's so good. Great. Yeah, Google SNL Washington's Dream or unit of measurement. You gotta watch it afterwards. It's so good.
Or we could just grab a Simon, because it's 59 Fahrenheit. He said 60, so 15 degrees Celsius. Just need a Simon with you, right? SNL Washington Street. Yeah. Oh man. Well, I don't want to end it with a good keyboard friend of the week if we're not there yet. But anything else you guys want to talk about? I'm just so excited, man. I'm so excited to go to Chicago.
What's like the coolest fucking artisan of all time?
Ooh, man.
Like for you,
it's so hard to. I can't pick one.
No, you got to pick one. It's like the desert island situation where I'm holding a desert island up to your head, and you got to pick one.
I would say that as somebody who joined back in the day, one of the technical kind of pinnacles for artisan making was BINGE'S Hungerkey, the first Hungerkey. Mm-hmm. It was like a multi-mold system, right? So you had to mold the skull separately from the tongue, from the thing, and that was, for many hobbyists around that time, the pinnacle. And there was only one of each color, right? And he wouldn't, like, he'd sort of drop it randomly, right? Like in some tiny geekhack post, a link or something like that. And it was just, for people around those days, it was the ultimate.
Yeah, that's fucking gatekeeping as a European. Like those fucking, like being up at have to be up at 3 a.m. for a random fucking drop that you don't even know. And it's like, you go to bed this day and like, you come back this morning and go like, oh.
I was deep into the hobby and I never got one. So it was tough, but it was, those were cool. Yeah.
Second question. Your top one or top two drops that you slept through, even though you set the fucking alarm and you didn't wake up for?
Keyboards or artisans?
Whichever hit you hardest. I remember
the one that really hurt. The one that like
drops that I slept through, even though. So I you guys know Nightcaps? There's a maker called Nightcaps. Eat the food. He makes the fugu and those things. Anyway, he's crazy. Like he did something called Poison Summer.
I was there for Poison Summer.
Right? Every day he would release a new colorway, right? And when he started, like by the 7th day, we're like, how long could this go? Like it's going to be like, a couple.
I think
weeks
I was
max.
there on day 33 is when I got mine.
And so I was at the time I was traveling in Asia, and I would tell my friends, hey, I know it's going to be like 3 a.m, but just text me or whatever when he does this drop, right? And so the thing lasted for like 80 days or something, right?
Wow.
And my wife was like, what the fuck is going on? That your phone is ringing at 2 a.m. Yeah. And so I missed a few of those, but that was that was, from an artisan perspective, those were memorable days. And like an idiot, I tried to complete the whole thing, and I eventually did.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
It was stupid.
Which ones did you like from the collection? Because that's one of the few artisans that I have purchased.
You have purchased from Poison Summer? Wow. Simon, that's
It's because
cool.
you couldn't steal it.
Yeah, I have a Bomb King in like
Nice.
it's either a
Let me see.
31 or a 33, whichever one is like a purplish, sparkly one.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying. I even like the names and stuff. That could be like counterculture or something. But let me see if I can find the quickly. I posted that on Reddit back in the day. And see, this is the cool thing about like Reddit and geekhack, right? Like I can just Google it and find my thing and go. Like I can't do that on Discord, right?
Except on Discord, it won't say, go unlock your photo bucket account.
Go unlock your phone. What?
Photo bucket.
Photo
exactly.
bucket.
It won't be watermarked to death.
Oh.
Yeah. So there. Oops. Here it is. That's it. That's all the Poison Summer Fugu and Bomb Kings. I don't know if I got all the eggs, but it's all the Fugu. So Simon, you probably got like the Bomb King of this guy or something.
Darker, sparklier.
Aren't there like two of them?
Or greener. It would have been greener, I think. Okay. I also have a Fugu.
Oh, here. This one?
I think so.
It had like these red dots.
I can like
of it now. Yeah. So that was a fun drop. And that was where I really got to meet a lot of the community. Like, I remember so I was able to collect them all without posting a single want to buy or want to trade. And I did that on principle to show people that you could get whatever you want through the community. Right? Like
that's nice. Yeah.
And so, and the community truly helped me get it. And this is a stupid thing. I thought it would be like 20 caps. I kept releasing it. Yeah. He's crazy. But yeah, that was the most memorable drop.
Wow. Being 20 caps, and it's like, how many
he did the equivalent 40, of like
no.
It's like vowing to catch all the Pokemon, but it's, halfway through generation 1 and you don't know the future.
No. It's like catching all of them
until I catch them all.
No, it's like vowing to catch all of them, and when you go look under the truck, and there's no Mew.
Yeah.
You got to use strength on the truck, bro.
But you have to, if you think about how those things are made, the fact that he cranked it out every day, he and his partner, Kristen, it's amazing. That level of like work ethic is crazy.
Yeah, to crank it every day. Wow.
Yeah.
Man. Can you go, so I got that. I just got that.
He's got an eggplant on his thing. Come on.
There we go.
Yeah.
Can you give I'm just assuming here, although I feel like my assumption is correct, that you are not in financial distress.
You're
okay.
You've done well.
You're okay financially. The reason why I ask is
you've done well.
Yeah, I've done okay. I probably have too much in resin and keyboards, but I'll have to.
I mean, hey, you want to own assets over fiat currency, so fuck.
Also worth remembering, he's doing fine, and the kids are slim because they don't eat.
But what are some tips?
Once they hit college, I'll have to start recouping.
Start selling the.
It's America. Like it puts you into bankruptcy. Yeah.
How did you balance that? Having so many, buying a lot of artisans, but also not bankrupting yourself. Any tips and tricks for those that may have an issue or no? Maybe no tips and tricks.
We've had we keep having the same conversation. We're like, here's really good advice that I never followed.
Oh, absolutely! Like the best advice you give is the one you can't follow yourself, but it's good, and that's why you have to give it on because it's sound advice. It's right.
I don't think these days it's advisable to try and build a collection like that because the retail price when I started was very different than the retail price today. Right? The retail prices of keycaps today are like $100 plus. It was never like that when we were, it was like $20 to $30.
So you're telling me like the artisan market is kind of like the housing market? Well, I mean, so like those that got in early are now catching out, sitting on all the wealth.
No, you know what?
Here's going on.
no, here's what happened. The artisan makers were always doing it as a part-time to supplement their income. Now it is their income. And so when it's your income, right, you have to make more and charge more.
And also the US dollar is basically worth half
And
of
the
what
US
it was
and
worth,
inflation,
like 10
right.
years ago, dude.
And inflation. So a combination of all these factors makes it, more expensive, right? But it also makes it, if you're a collector, like you have all this amazing variety, and if you miss a sale, you don't have to wait for the next quarter, and so it's easier to be a hobbyist, but it's also more expensive to build a crazily big collection. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So don't have a massive collection. Just have the things you enjoy.
No, you got to catch them all, dude. Like, surely it's possible.
There you go.
Surely.
No, I'm just so thankful for you. We're all thankful for you.
I'm thankful for having me.
It's so nice to have somebody that is so accessible. I'm not saying that everybody is accessible, but it's amazing because for every rmendis, every Simon, every Tanghus, like you were talking about, there are people behind the scenes that have amazing stories as well. And we love to share them and to have them on the podcast whenever we're able to. Like,
are you implying there's more like me?
There are. You are not the only one.
I feel bad for them.
There's nobody like you, Tanghus. You're one
okay.
of a
That
kind.
makes those poor people. Otherwise, like those poor souls.
No,
lots of good people. Lots of good people in the hobby. Yeah. Thanks for having a bunch of us on, and you guys are doing a good thing.
That's the thing, right, guys? Like we have fun stories to tell.
Absolutely
about,
correct. You are right. That is the thing. Thank you.
and we talk about we have fun for 2 hours every weekend. There's a lot of shit going on in the world. To have an outlet, hopefully the same for you listeners and watchers, to just have fun. Listen to people in the keyboard community talk about keyboards, talk about life in general. 2 hours out of your hectic week, hectic life to just have fun and enjoy. That's what this podcast is about, and we love having people on like rmendis and shouting out those good keyboard friends. Because why, Simon? Why do we like to shout out good keyboard friends?
Well, listen. Sometimes it's good to have somebody on your side. When we live in the year of our Lord 2026, and a lot of people right now are dealing with the enormous burden of like the huge info dump of like the cruelty of the world. A lot of us have like learned that shit over like a lifetime of experience, but some people are just like awaking to the fact that, things not so good right now. One of the greatest things you can do is connect to another person, is to just have somebody there. And having a good keyboard friend, I think, is an integral part of keeping your sanity these days.
Yes.
You really need to have those dudes you could grind out with.
Exactly.
You gotta whack it daily.
Exactly.
And keep a close circle of friends.
Yes.
Because like a circle...
make sure to keep a tight grip on your friends.
Right. Very tight. But before we let rmendis talk about his tight grip of friends... Oh, no. Uh-oh. Tanghus, how do people nominate good keyboard friends for us to shout out at the end of every episode?
See, the first step they have to do is make friends. Once they make friends, they have to experience life with the friends. Like, go experience life on their own as well, and maybe go to appreciate these friends. And once they find one of these friends and consider that's actually a good keyboard friend as well, they can go to not www.hugemeatbox.com, because that will give you a server error. They have to go to hugemeatbox.com, and the first link will be a Google Forms link.
Awesome.
And
yeah, I'm fixing that right now.
Do you guys do this? Do you guys do this podcast every week?
Yeah, we used to.
No. I mostly stay away and just like let the guys deal with it, and then I'm just here to take all the credit.
Every week is a impressive commitment.
This is episode 53. Even though we've done some episodes that didn't count towards the number, and it's been less than a year since we started.
Are you going to stop at 69?
Well, for season one.
Season 1. Yeah.
No. We're going to stop at like.
Don't.
Oh,
Never reveal our secret plan. That's like
true.
the first rule of the secret plan is you don't fucking say the secret plan.
yeah.
What's
end
what
off.
secret plan?
Exactly.
The secret plan. Yes, the secret plan. The secret plan.
To
one
end
of the
off-
plan. Yes.
to
one
end
of the
off
ends.
this-
Yes. The secret
to
plan
end off
to,
this
to do
episode.
to do the thing. The thing, the secret. Yes, the secret thing. I got it.
Armendis, who are your good keyboard friends of the week?
A lot of good friends, but I think I'll give a shout out to those guys behind the scenes on mechmarket doing the thankless support job. People like Noah F. and Furion and Bassett and Drift. I mean, these are they're trying to keep a little bit of sanity in that place, and they try and help people. So if you run across them, tell them thanks. Omnias is another one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the first of hopefully a couple episodes to have you on. We love having you on, and now we can talk about anything we want because we have your origin story out there in the public. We can talk about food. We can talk about I don't know, rock climbing, whatever you want in the future.
We should do it. Yeah. We should do a post KeyCon.
Yes.
A debriefing episode.
Yeah.
Yes. But thank you, Armendis. Thank you for everything that you do. We will see you in Chicago in a couple of weeks.
We're going to need a little bit of time because we have to do the proper debriefing. We need to get the pictures. We need to analyze them and have to go through and ask so what's going on here in this picture? You say that's going.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's going to how we do it.
On behalf of Tanghus, myself, James, and Simon, thank you, Armendis, and we'll talk to you next time.
We'll see you soon.
Goodbye.
Bye.